Yeah, that's what people need to understand is that the Middle East is so critical for the United States economically. Like, not just because like it's bad enough that these Middle Eastern countries are making like $1 trillion investments in the U.S. They're making these $1 trillion guarantees. UAE, Qatar, Saudi, they're saying we're investing $1 trillion in the United States AI infrastructure or weapons or whatever. Like that's bad enough that you're taking the Ummah's money, the money of the Ummah, and instead of doing something to help Palestine, you are investing it in the country that is responsible to a large extent for genociding Palestine. That's bad enough. But the bigger economic significance of the Middle East to the United States is that is the significance of the petrodollar. That Saudi Arabia and these Gulf countries agree to accept dollars for oil, and they will not accept to the same degree other currency. This means that the dollar maintains global supremacy as the world reserve currency. That can only happen with the agreement of the Gulf states. And that's why the US doesn't leave anything to chance. The US doesn't leave it to chance that one day the king of Saudi Arabia is going to wake up and decide, yeah, I think I'm going to start accepting rubles. I'm going to start accepting other currency, yuan for oil, for barrels of oil. The US is not going to leave it up to chance. That's why they have all of these military bases established with tens of thousands of personnel, US personnel there in those countries ready to ensure that America's will is realized. And there's absolutely no resistance to this state of affairs. So it's very critical it's very obvious why the US is never going to relinquish control of the Middle East. The only thing that would result in the US relinquishing control is if the US collapsed, and they literally can't afford to maintain military bases in the Middle East. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that no longer is oil relevant. Like there's no more need for petroleum. And so it's not really necessary to maintain, like petroleum is not going to be the basis for the global reserve currency, the world reserve currency. So that's a second scenario. But neither of those scenarios seem to be very imminent. So domination of the Middle East will continue. Subjugation of Muslims will continue. Subjugation of any kind of Islamic movement will continue until something major happens. Nothing gradual, unfortunately, is going to change the situation. If that were the case, like if gradualism was going to bring an Islamic golden age and a reestablishment of the Sharia and Islamic governance in the world, if that were the case, we've had that kind of gradual Islamic awakening since the War on Terror. Things have improved seemingly for at least 10 years, at least a decade. And what has that resulted in? Do we see any kind of, if we're not able to prevent Palestinian children from starving, then what real Islamic alternative has been created? Like how much progress have we really made in terms of an Islamic awakening in the world?